Welcome to Closet Confessions jet lag edition of late at night not being able to sleep. Things I'm getting rid of from my wardrobe that going into the ultimate design sale on the 10th 11th October at the Vinyl Factory. You can get tickets on the links I'll put around this. But Cost Jacket is going. Whatever I do, it won't suit me. I loved the feeling of it. It feels incredibly expensive. I love to be able to suit this colour, but look, it is doing nothing for my skin, hair and eye because it's not one of my colours. This is a leopard print top I put on to make it work. I know I can work with leopard print. Chocolate brown jeans, all right? Now, we can talk for a second what possessed me to buy this. And I think there are moments when we just make decisions which we know are so wrong, and yet we go down that path. And it's when we buy something because we love the shape or we love the colour, but the shape is shit on us. So this, I love the shape of barrel jean. I like the little crop. I like the fact it showed off the best part of my leg, which is my ankle, sort of, in the right proportion. Everything else is wrong. So these are going to Lila's wardrobe downstairs. The jacket that's going in the sale. There's huge rails already in the storage unit, along with thousands of other people's clothing from fabulous women who are donating to raise money for this amazing cause, Change Girls' Life campaign. The concept I like the idea of is layering. So I have this incredibly old COS sleeveless vest, and it's very chiffony here. And I like the idea of not seeing the jean in its classical jean shape. So having that there and then having this cozy oversized jumper from the Frankie shop gives me a sense of proportion and layering, which feels comfortable. It's like I'm wearing a skirt over trouser. I can always pin this up here so you have it higher at the front so you get the sense of a waist, but slouchy. I like the slouchiness. So that maybe was something up here to brighten it up. That works for me. And then that little bit of sparkle at the end. So very understated, but the silhouette feels stronger. I'm really feeling drab tonight. I think it requires, now we might be topping and tailing a little bit too much with Demonte, but if I had makeup on, brightens up my face. But then it's got a bit busy. I don't know where to look between the shoes and this. So I have another idea, hold on. Really old Miu Miu collar from about 20 years ago, but it's a subtlety because there's shimmer, but it's grey, so it sort of fits in with the jumper, gives the jumper an extra added something, and then it doesn't fight so much with the Demonte of the shoe. Very cozy and will stay in the wardrobe. Might be the last one because I'm going to hit a brick wall. Plain white shirt, very nicely designed. And it has a high bit at the side. COS jeans from ages ago that I just didn't know if I should keep or not. They're kind of wide leg turn up. I like the little detail of the stripe here. And I've got my fluffy shoes on. So I could tuck in the front and have the back hanging out. I could do that, but there's a part of me that thinks lean in to the volume, but I don't know what to do on top. I was thinking of a tie. Would I go for a leopard print tie? It's a bit random. Too random, doesn't work. I found the tie, Frankie shop, when I was in New York. So the tie just brings the dimensions of the black into the center, and I sort of like it. I don't mind that it's not showing off my shape. I just like the relaxedness of it. My favorite add-on recently is a detail, my little Etsy necklace, which if you look under Etsy and you go Trinny necklace, the lady took the inspiration of a necklace I had from Isabel Marant that I lost, and she made this. It's as good, if not better than the original. I just like that little slither coming down with the tie. Just adds a bit of detail, which gives a tiny bit of sheen, which I need, but I still haven't figured out what I wear on top. This is from last year in New York. I got it at Gasson, lovely store, and it's from Comme des Garçons. I had this as a long coat a few years ago. It's sort of a jacket sewn onto a longer piece, but I like the way it's slightly balloon. I do like the fact that the shirt's down to there, even though in principle I would say, should I tuck that all in? But I think that's a bit predictable, so I like that I can have it out, but if I decide to put my hand in my pocket, you see a line up to the length of my leg, but it still has this relaxed air about it. I could then, on days I'm feeling I need something extra or it's raining, put on my hat. something about it that brings me joy. I don't know if you remember when I got my most inappropriate hat in the world that I also had these glasses. I used to love wearing it with. So now we have what many of you might consider a mad outfit, but it's an outfit that I'm excited by because there's little different things in it. There's now so much to look at, you wouldn't know where to begin to look. I think there's either a principle for me that I have one, perhaps 1.5 things to look at, or there's so many things you don't know where to look. Sorry, last minute thought. My coat from Central Antwerp that I got earlier in the year. Overwhelming or pulling up with the white. I sort of like the volume on, volume on, volume on, volume you. Let me review this in the morning and we'll get back to it later. It's that time of night again where I've got jet lag and I'm showing you things that I'm trying to get ready for autumn winter. I have multiples in my wardrobe and one of them is this skirt and top which I wore in Australia in pink and green. I wore in Boston in pink and green as 2 sets, and I thought for winter I would have a grey one, which Susanna was making still in August. I did think to myself the grey is a bit flat, you know, it's sort of lost the vibrancy as an outfit, and this is where you can go down a path of overindulgence in a concept you love and then you think, does it translate? But I've always loved grey, and in the winter I wear a lot of grey suits and I add silver to make them kind of have a little va-va-vum. So I added the necklace, but with the shoes and this, it's all a bit too much. But when I haven't got shitty, dirty hair and when I got a bit of makeup on, grey is a really lovely colour. I got this from Sakai a couple of years ago, and I like the idea of wearing it with a skirt. I've only ever worn it with trousers, and I love the whole pleated back. I had this, was really stuck out a lot, so I actually didn't wear it for a bit, but I had it taken in. Now, as it gets to winter, obviously I'd want a jumper with this, but for now, would I do bare shoulder? Maybe not. I still want to pursue this idea further. Now, I don't know how many of you saw the morning show, but in it, Jennifer Aniston, in one of the very first scenes, she wore this beautiful grey cashmere coat with a grey jumper. It was very quiet luxury, the Row inspired. It was so chic, and I remember when I was about 16 and I went to Italy to stay with a girlfriend, and everyone there wore, you know, beautiful grey, charcoal grey trousers, and I always just felt grey and chocolate brown suede was one of the chicest things. So I'm doing this sort of lovely coat, which I got in August, and it's just all grey. Now, to some of you might be just really grey, but I sort of like that, and if my hair was dry and looked better, it might work, but I do actually love it with this, and I'd probably wear a boot in the winter, and if I was dosing it up in the evening, I'd get out my trusty little Dries necklace, like that. There, that little bit of sparkle, which sometimes sparkle needs to just sit on something really, really plain to make it stand out. So yes, that works for me. I now feel it has a place. And if I'm wearing it for work during the day, could I be bothered to style up? Yes, let's style up, because we've got to bring it into our wardrobe with love. Okay, there's a bit of love in the air now, because there's that little fantastic layering piece of that sequin coming out. I feel it changes the whole look of it. So version 1 is that I have it with these shoes from Trinny in Australia. They're quite light for the winter, but I'm introducing also the concept perhaps of a legging, because I could make this shorter. Okay, now we have something totally different. I've got my puffiness. I've got that there. I've just really pulled this up over the boobs so it just has fluff. I've taken the skirt up another notch because I think this skirt is too long. And then the little legging gives that layering effect. Now I've got on the controversial shoes. We could put on a darker shoe, but I like the principle now of this. Options are a 23-year-old Chloe shoe. That's what good shoe trees do for patent shoes, in a sort of chocolate brown. Or a very chunky boot from a brand in Sweden. It's going to be so difficult for you to judge because I can't hold the leg up with that. Very flat shoe, maybe in this instance doesn't work. But can I tell you, it's so profoundly comfortable and it still fits me. But I could do that, actually, it would work. But I really like the chunky boot. I forgot how much I enjoy winter for a chunky boot moment. I sort of love the chunky boot. A lot. Okay, I'm gonna put on both the boots. I've got to say, you know, the reason I do this, just to digress for a second, is I'm thinking of lots of ideas for business at the moment, and I'm now excited, and I just can't go to sleep actually tonight. It is jet lag, but I'm excited that I'm owning this idea that I wanted to do, and I was like wanting to get the team on board with it, and I was speaking to people today, and I think finally the team get what I want to do with this mission. So I'm in just an excitable mood. Anyway, black chunky boots, that's where we're at. And let's put back on a coat because we're heading into a deep, dark winter. You can tell how long I've been doing this because my hair is drying as we're doing this film, literally. The length of time it's taken for me to get this outfit into a place where I'm thinking, yeah, I'm in love, has been the length of time it's taken to nearly dry my hair. I'm ready for winter. I'd wear this in the day, I'd wear it to the office, and then I'll go straight out for dinner in the evening, whisk it off, and I've just got a little bit of glam to take me anywhere that I want to go. I could just, the office sits down there, and the evening it comes up and turns into something a bit cool. And then maybe I take a little shoe in my bag and I put on a high-heel silver shoe, I don't know. Do I go on to another outfit? I'm not tired yet, I might. Digressing for a second of 2 silver bottles that really work. One is Elixir. I've been traveling so much and I just want to nurture myself, so I put that on. But also, I forgot how much I like Colour Wow Dream Coat, and this is extra strength. And it just doesn't leave my hair feeling like straw. It's just a miracle. I've always tried so many different things for when I want to do naturally curly hair. It's so nice. Another thought is what kind of jacket I'd wear with it if I didn't want to wear a coat. And this is a really, 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 really old H&M. When it's fitted, it's like that. But also, I think the interim period before those jackets come back in fashion is to do up the collar and just have it like that. So it's just another alternative. I'm sorry, I've suddenly it's found so many friends in the wardrobe. The shape I'm loving. It's a Sakai thing that I got this year. It's working for me so well. I'm adoring it. I want to wear it tomorrow. And also what I realize is I can make necklaces and little bits appear out of nowhere. So if I want to have more of a little sequin near my collar, I can just lower that down a bit, just a little flash of something. I love that. It's not a sexy outfit, but no, it's just a fun outfit. And there's little moments in our wardrobe and you think, what's going to make me feel sexy? What's going to make me feel fun? What's going to make me feel cool or modern? All right, there's one final look. It's a crazy look. It might not be a look for everyone, but would I ever conceive this concept of wearing the legging with a big coat and the black boot like that? It's slightly a light grey to do this with. What do you think? Can I get away with it? I'm not showing you my central section because I think then it's sort of fanny and looks like I'm wearing joggers, but just like a side angle for a second with something with a little glimmer of an inspiration to go somewhere else.